I stopped giving my kids money after helping them for over 10 years. My son Brian and his wife Lisa both have decent jobs, but they're drowning in debt because of how Lisa spends money. If she sees something she wants, she buys it. New purse, bought. Kitchen gadget she'll use once, bought. Expensive shoes for their 3 kids who'll outgrow them in 2 months, bought. Then when the credit card bills come in, she complains that Brian doesn't work enough overtime. I've been bailing them out for years. When they couldn't make rent, I sent money. When their electric got shut off, I paid it. When they needed groceries, I bought them. Every single month there was something. I probably gave them close to 40 grand over the past decade. Here's the thing though, last year I went through this brutal divorce with my ex-husband. He cleaned me out. I had to come back from retirement just to keep my house and pay my bills. I'm 64 years old, working full-time again when I should be relaxing. My house is tiny, just 2 bedrooms, so I live alone trying to rebuild everything I lost. Brian knows all this. He was there when I had to sell my furniture just to afford a lawyer. 2 weeks ago, he called me saying they were losing their house. All their bills were months behind and the bank was foreclosing. I felt terrible because they have 3 little kids, ages 3, 5, and 7. They made arrangements to move in with Lisa's parents, who have a bigger place. I thought, okay, they'll figure it out. Her parents can help them get back on track. Then yesterday morning, Brian called me frantic. Their car got repossessed right out of their driveway while they were sleeping. Apparently, they hadn't made a payment in 4 months. He asked me for money to get the car back and said they needed to borrow mine until they could afford another one. Just borrow my car indefinitely while they sorted out their mess. I took a deep breath and said no. Brian went quiet for a second, then started going off on me. He said I'd always helped them before, and now when they really needed me, I was abandoning them. I told him I could barely afford my own bills. I said if I keep giving you money, I'm going to lose my house and my car too. He laughed this mean laugh and said that's not his problem. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said, excuse me, what did you just say? He repeated it. He actually said, Mom, your financial situation is not my concern. You need to figure that out yourself. I was so angry I started shaking. I told him I'd been his concern for 10 years while I handed him thousands of dollars. But now that I needed to protect myself, suddenly I don't matter. He tried to backtrack, but I cut him off. I said, if I'm not your concern, then you're not mine anymore. I hung up. Lisa called me an hour later crying about how they needed help and I was being selfish. She kept bringing up my grandkids, saying how could I let them suffer? I told her the same thing I told Brian. I love those kids more than anything, but I didn't sacrifice my whole life to own my home just to lose everything because my son thinks I'm not his concern. She called me heartless and hung up. My phone has been blowing up ever since. Brian's been texting saying I'm overreacting and that he didn't mean it that way. But he did mean it. He said those exact words. Lisa's been posting on Facebook about how family should help family in hard times, obviously talking about me. Some of my relatives have been calling asking why I won't help my son when he has 3 babies to feed. I had to explain that I've been helping for a decade and I literally cannot afford to anymore. The crazy part is nobody seems to care that Brian told me my problems aren't his concern. They just see a grandma refusing to help her grandkids. I feel guilty every single day, but I also know I can't set myself on fire to keep them warm.